I think we have all experienced when we think we have to do something and it doesn't really, it's not fun, feels like it takes our energy. I want to talk about and possibly remind you of the difference between have-tos and want-tos in life. We can get stuck in the have-tos. When we were young, it was very easy to just go out and play and do whatever we felt like doing. When we get older, it feels like there are just more and more have-tos and less of the want-tos. Suddenly we have to pay the bills.
And we have to be nice, and we have to clean our
sink.
And we have to visit these people. The thing about the have-tos, they're often based on fear. We have to be nice because otherwise we would not be liked. We have to clean, otherwise people might think we're disgusting, or we think we're disgusting. However, the want-tos is based on love. You can't really explain the want-tos. You can't find maybe the logical reason why you should do that. We have to give ourselves permission to do these want-tos because it might not make sense. It might feel like it's taking time from our have-to list. The most important thing about this is the have-tos take your energy. It drains us from life force. When we do the want-tos, it gives us energy, and it can be like, it's such a big difference when we start to do what we actually want to do instead of what we think we have to. The more we do these have-tos and the less we do of the want-tos, the have-tos just keep on building up to this ginormous mountain of have-tos, and suddenly we are lost. We almost follow this logic feeling of, I need to do this. But our bodies and our minds and our beings are telling us that we really do not want to do this if we listen. And I think it's interesting that we can do a lot of have-tos, but it's really the want-tos that leads us in the right direction, in the direction we want to go. If we want to achieve something, we can't just do what we have to do. So how can we get into the life of doing what we want to do instead of what we have to do? The key is the now. What do you want to do right now? The reason why the now is so important is we do not know about tomorrow or an hour from now. We don't know how we will feel or what has happened. Because we might feel right now, I want to do this in an hour, and then an hour passes and then you don't really feel like doing it anyways. Or the other way around. Right now I do not want to do that thing, but I might have to, or you feel like you have to, and then just 5 minutes from now you feel like, you know what, I think I want to do that anyway. The have-tos can become a want-to. I might feel like I have to clean, but I don't want to. But if we think about it in another way, I am doing this for me. I am making myself and my home more livable and more cozy. It's easier to start to clean, and we get this, you know what, I think I want to make this place nicer. Instead of thinking I have to, it's much more kind to think I want to. When we do something that we really want to do, it not only gives us life force and we become more happy and more content and more pleased with ourselves and our life, it also makes us do a much better job. Whatever we were doing, it will be so much better when we want to do it. It might feel weird in the beginning, doing things we actually want to do instead, because these wants might feel like they're less, because the logical part of us knows that we We have to do these grown-ups things, and maybe we want to just lay on the bed, or maybe we just want to take a walk or something, and we feel like I do not have the time for that. I'm saying take the time, make the time. The want-tos is who we really are. The have-tos is based on what we think we need to do to survive, but it's often based on fear and logic, and we are not machines. And the more machine we try to be, the more lost we get. Even if we feel like we do all these right things, we can get empty inside because we weren't really doing it for ourselves. That's why it's so important to do the wants, because the wants is based on us, on what we actually want, what we learned when we were kids, and how natural it was to just do whatever we felt like doing. When we do the have-tos, we often shut off our emotions, and our emotions is really a guide. They're there to help us. And when we shut off this filter, we can't really tell if it's good for us or not. But we can change this. Start small, do small changes in everyday life, just reminding yourself, what do I want to do right now? And then you go and do that. Of course, there will be, maybe you feel like I want to do this thing that isn't really possible right now, but we can always do something. We can always make it a bit better. So the next time you're doing something, ask yourself, are you doing this because you want to, or is it because you have to? And if you're doing something and you notice that, oh my god, I do not want to do this, just ask yourself, what do I want to do? I'm not talking about tomorrow or I want to be traveling the world stuff, but more like, what do you want to do right now, this second? And the more we start to get used to this, the more natural it will become for the brain to think that way. Now, I'm not talking about, I want to go and eat a lot of junk food right now because I feel so sad. That's not really doing what we want. That is suppressing a feeling. What we do want in that moment is perhaps cry, or punch a pillow, or get that feeling out of us. Because eating a lot of junk food isn't based on love. It isn't a true want. The true want to is when we are true to ourselves. Or when we look into ourselves and feel like, what do I really want right now? I mean, perhaps it's a pizza because you're starving, but it's not going to be something that's gonna hurt you. When we are true to ourselves, in the bottom of our being, there is love, there is light. We do not have to do all these things. Even if it feels like we almost have this obligation to do all these things, it's not necessarily true. So it's very easy to just play and no. Pathways and new when we start to no, it's like almost we do it with ease when we do the I have easily do the I want to's. So, and we make it so the more we get used to how a guide to